Before the complex devices we know today, the idea of computation was pretty basic. For centuries, people relied on simple tools to help them calculate. Think about the abacus, for instance. It's an ancient counting frame that made arithmetic way easier for merchants and scholars. Even as early as the 17th century, mechanical calculators started popping up, like those from Pascal and Leibniz, which could add and subtract with gears and levers. These early tools were really the first steps on a long, winding road to modern computing, showing our constant need to automate the numbers game. Fast forward to the 19th century, and we meet Charles Babbage, often called the father of the computer. He envisioned something far more sophisticated than simple calculators. His designs, like the difference engine and the analytical engine, were incredible. The analytical engine, in particular, was a blueprint for a general-purpose mechanical computer, complete with memory and a central processing unit, which is wild, by the way, considering it was all steam-powered concepts. What's even more remarkable is Ada Lovelace, Lord Byron's daughter, who saw the potential beyond pure calculation. She wrote what's considered the world's first computer program for Babbage's machine, foreseeing its use for complex tasks, not just numbers. Decades later, during World War II, the need for rapid calculation became critical. This is where Alan Turing, a brilliant British mathematician, stepped in. His theoretical work laid the groundwork for modern computing, and his practical application was revolutionary. Turing played a pivotal role in breaking the Enigma code, used by the German military. He designed machines, often called bombs, which were electromechanical devices that helped decipher encrypted messages. This contribution was absolutely crucial to the Allied victory, essentially showcasing the immense power of computational machines to process information and solve complex, real-world problems under extreme pressure. Right after the war, in 1946, the world saw the birth of ENIAC, the Electronic Numerical Integrator and Computer. This wasn't just a bigger calculator, it was the first electronic general-purpose digital computer, a monumental achievement. Imagine a machine that weighed 30 tons, took up 1,800 square feet, and used over 17,000 vacuum tubes. It was a beast, consuming a massive amount of power and often breaking down because those tubes would burn out. But for its time, ENIAC was incredibly fast, performing thousands of calculations per second. It proved that electronic computing was the future, even if that future looked like a giant room full of blinking lights and heat. ENIAC's vacuum tubes were powerful but fragile, bulky, and hot. The real breakthrough in making computers smaller and more reliable came in 1947 with the invention of the transistor at Bell Labs. Transistors were tiny semiconductor devices that could amplify electronic signals or switch them on and off, just like vacuum tubes, but without the heat, bulk, or fragility. This invention was a game-changer, allowing computers to shrink dramatically in size while becoming vastly more powerful and efficient. It kicked off a revolution, paving the way for machines that were not only electronic but also compact and much more dependable, setting the stage for everything that followed. While transistors were amazing, connecting hundreds or thousands of them was still a complex wiring job. The next leap came in 1958 with the invention of the integrated circuit, or IC, by Jack Kilby at Texas Instruments. Instead of individual components wired together, Kilby figured out how to put multiple transistors, resistors, and capacitors onto a single, small piece of semiconductor material, usually silicon. This innovation meant that entire electronic circuits could be manufactured as one unit. Suddenly, the number of components that could be packed into a small space exploded, making computers even more compact, reliable, and significantly cheaper to produce, truly shrinking the footprint of powerful machines. The integrated circuit laid the groundwork for perhaps the most critical invention in modern computing, the microprocessor. In 1971, Intel released the Intel 4004, the first commercially available single-chip microprocessor. This tiny silicon chip contained all the core functions of a computer's central processing unit, essentially, an entire computer brain on a single piece of silicon. This was a monumental leap. It meant computers could be mass-produced at an incredibly low cost and size, moving them from giant rooms in specialized labs into businesses, and eventually, into homes. The 4004 kicked off the personal computer revolution, making powerful computing accessible to everyone. From that point on, the pace of innovation has been relentless. The microprocessor allowed for the creation of desktop computers, then laptops, and now, incredibly powerful smartphones and smart devices we carry in our pockets. This incredible journey from the Abacus to today's supercomputers is a testament to constant innovation, driven by the desire for machines that are not just faster, but also smaller and more powerful. We've seen concepts evolve from mechanical dreams to room-sized electronics, and finally to silicon wafers smaller than a fingernail, continually reshaping how we live, work, and connect. It's a journey that's far from over, and it's exciting to think about what comes next.